Bonjour à tout le monde, bienvenue sur le plateau Travel and Tourism Community Network et bonne fête du travail, même si le secteur touristique est en chômage, mais je vous souhaite bonne fête et j'ai une pensée spéciale pour tous les gens qui travaillent en ce moment-ci, les médecins, le personnel des hôpitaux, les policiers, les ONG et tout le monde qui travaille pour la sécurité du pays. Hier, on a eu l'opportunité d'avoir un invité de Stockholm. Aujourd'hui, on a une autre opportunité d'accueillir quelqu'un qui est très connu dans le monde du tourisme et aussi dans le monde des finances. C'est un Mauricien qui est établi en Australie et qui partagera aujourd'hui ses idées aussi bien que son expérience. Comme d'habitude, cette conversation sera en anglais, mais parce qu'on a des amis qui nous écoutent de plusieurs pays du monde, l'Italie, la France, l'Angleterre, l'Allemagne, la Suisse, aussi bien que les pays asiatiques comme Singapour et l'Australie. Et si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas de nous faire savoir, surtout sur la colonne sur votre droite. Vous écrivez vos questions, on essaiera de répondre au maximum si on a le temps. Sans tarder, on va prendre notre invité d'aujourd'hui, euh, Monsieur Clifford To. Monsieur Clifford To, bonsoir, parce que je sais qu'en Australie, il est l'après-midi, pratiquement le soir. Merci d'être venu sur ce plateau pour partager votre expérience et vos idées. Vous êtes quelqu'un qui est né à Maurice, et vous avez travaillé dans le secteur touristique à Maurice pendant plusieurs années. Ensuite, vous avez décidé de partir en Australie pour faire vos études en finance et finalement, vous êtes resté. Et là, vous nous parlez de l'Australie. Et bonsoir, Clifford.
Et bonjour Prem, bonjour tous les internautes. Et should I do it in English, right? Okay, I'll
Oui,
do it
bien
in
sûr,
English.
parce
All right,
que
okay.
oui, je préfère parce qu'il y aura d'autres personnes qui nous écoutent des autres pays. Peut-être l'anglais est plus facile.
Right. Hi everybody. Thanks for joining us, and thank you Prem for having me on a on the live conversation today. And it's a pleasure to talk to all of you.
So, Clifford, tell us a little bit about the lockdown in Australia, how Australia is living this COVID-19.
Eh, as probably a lot of you may know, Australia is doing pretty well in terms of flattening the curve, and Australia has taken actions quite early, and this has proved to be paying off. There has been quite a lot of calls from different people in Australia for a complete lockdown, as in Mauritius. But how it works over here, because the government, they are this COVID-19 a pandemic is advised by what we call a national cabinet, comprising the prime minister and the chief medical officer of different states and all the premiers of different states and all these. So they meet on a weekly or twice weekly basis to discuss and to take decisions. So they didn't decide on a complete lockdown. So practically it's a partial lockdown where people can move around, but only for necessities, to go to supermarkets, to go to the pharmacy, to see doctors. But also what they call essential services. One service which is really, hasn't locked down at all. It's the construction industry. They've been carrying on, and Of course, there are some social distancing guidelines that we have to respect. But just earlier, a couple of hours ago, the Prime Minister announced that at the beginning, I think some ease of the lockdown would happen after the 15th of May, but now they brought it back to next Friday, so we are looking forward to it. But
Okay.
some states have already started by today.
Okay. But when you say partially locked down, eh, are the restaurants or public areas like public gardens or public park open, or they're all closed?
No, parks and all these they are closed, but restaurants, cafes, and all these they are open only for takeaways. All right. So
Okay.
when you queue up to get your coffee in the morning or whatever, so you still have to keep that distance. Here they've given 4 square meters per person.
Okay. But people should still wear their mask and gloves.
Eh,
So,
some do in some areas, like 90% of the people do it, but the recommendation from the chief medical officer here, they said there's no need for that. I mean, like for the last couple of days, even in the state of New South Wales, there has been like on a daily basis, like 7 to 8,000 tests per day. But they've only got, like, I think yesterday was 2 new cases, and today was 8 new cases or 9, something like that.
okay. So people are practically staying at home. But is there any initiative that the government is giving to those who are staying at home, let's say?
Oh yeah, they have a lot of not incentives but support, which the government is giving. Up to, I think they've budgeted around $200 billion.
Oh,
A then they people who are looking for a job, or people who are a who need to companies who need to keep people in the job, so the government is subsidizing them.
okay. But I think before you also told me that the government is helping, or the government is pushing people to learn online by
Oh,
giving incentives.
yes, correct. So the state of New South Wales, what they are encouraging people to do is to go online. There's hundreds of courses which they've offered for free to
Mhm.
retrain ourselves. Like, people, they may want to do some additional training, so use this time to better our knowledge, and maybe, to prepare ourselves for the pickup as and when it happens.
But these courses are for everybody living in New South Wales, or is it for people who are registered, who already have a job?
No, it's for everybody who lives in the state of New South Wales and who are permanent residents or New Zealand citizen, Australian citizen, or permanent resident.
But are these courses in any field? It can be in tourism, it can be in finance, or it is a specific uh, set of courses that has been put up.
There's a list of courses in management. In some of them, I've seen in digital media and all these, and some of them even on programming and all these things. So there's quite a lot of them.
So you register on the course, it's free, and
Yes, correct.
you do it online. And is it a course that you will get a certificate at the end of?
Yes, correct. Yes, you do.
Okay, you are awarded. You are awarded. Very good.
Yes.
That's a very good initiative
Uh,
that people manage.
just 1 second. Some people are sending me the message that it's not appearing on Facebook.
They have to go on the link that I've given you before.
Just 1
So
second.
they will get it. You just have to click on that link and they will be able to follow it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let me see if they can get it. Yeah.
Okay, shall we continue?
Yes, yes.
Good. So no, I was saying that it is a very good initiative because at the end of the day is that you are giving your people the opportunity to learn something and mainly to improve their skill. And I think when this COVID-19 will be over, so you will have a lot of trained people that will be available to start.
Yeah.
And you will have skilled workers. That's a very good initiative.
Yes,
So
correct.
Clifford,
And also, I think that some of these courses, I mean, they are free for residents of New South Wales, the state here. But if anybody around the world, they want to follow these courses, they can pay and they can follow whatever course they want.
okay, good. So now we'll move to the next question, Clifford. You recently came to Mauritius. I know that you had a workshop with which you organized yourself on blockchain management, and you stayed back for I think a month in Mauritius before leaving. Tell me, what have you seen any difference between I know you have been working in the tourism sector before going to Australia for a long time. You have been working for a very big tour operator, so you have been in contact with the hotels, with the airport, with everything. So what changes have you seen after 20 years in our tourism sector, mainly in our services?
I mean, it has changed quite a lot. I mean, by the time that I was working in the tourism industry in Mauritius, as you said, it's almost 20 over odd years. And obviously, I mean, there are more flights. Previously, you were only having a handful of flights, more hotels. Now you have businesses with tourists are coming from all around the world. Practically, the last time I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me that he get clients from Kazakhstan and all these, but whereas in the olden days you can't hear any of these, and you have villas, apartments. But also what has changed a lot is the demographics of the tourists coming to Mauritius, you know, which is quite important. Even though the majority of the tourists coming to Mauritius are from Europe, but you can also see Chinese, you can see Middle Eastern people, you can see Indians, and I think that's what Mauritius is for. But also there's a lot of the advantage is that what Mauritius offers is the visa free for practically most countries. So if you go, that's a very, very big advantage for Mauritius. And obviously, the business in itself has become more complex and more competitive. But I mean, you have much more players, but at that particular time, you had quite a couple of tour operators, which doesn't exist anymore, which have been probably bought by some others, right? And they became bigger. But at the same time, the business has become much more complex. And I think if operators are not smart enough in their costing, in the way they run their business, then, they may have an issue. So, but in saying that as well, the sector has grown quite a fair bit. You have a lot of professionals in that sector. But at the same time, also, there are some other players which are not really that professional.
Okay.
All right. right? So that's what I've noticed. But one thing which probably hasn't changed at all are the taxis from the airport.
Okay.
Except that you get newer taxis right now. But the way
Very
they
good.
operate is still the same.
So now, our famous disease and our COVID-19 and coronavirus that the whole world is talking about. But you are following the news that the tourism sector has been hit a lot compared to other sectors. So according to you, how you think the COVID-19 will change the tourism worldwide, the way of traveling?
I mean, the from the medical advice that the chief medical officer is giving here, and from the prime minister in Australia, practically, if we do not get a vaccine, forget about international travel, which is a very sad thing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But in saying that, there are quite a few trials, human trials going ahead. And also,
Mm-hmm.
even in Australia, there's the University of Queensland, which is aiming to release a vaccine by September.
Okay.
So, and they said that it has a very good chance to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So, because in their lab tests, they managed to get quite good results.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully by September, but then we will have to wait for the production and all these. So I think to really for the industry to completely fully recover, the whole world has to be vaccinated for that to recover. But
Okay.
in saying that, how it will evolve, from what I can see, I mean, Mauritius is a small place, but like a country like Australia, which is a continent,
Mm-hmm.
you have internal tourism as well. So what the prime minister said a couple of weeks ago, he said, be prepared to go for holidays in Australia.
Oh.
So that's the way I think it would work for the next probably at least until end of next year. And not every country will open their borders, that's for sure. And even if they do open, they might only do so with a limited amount of countries, like what they are what they envisage over here is they will probably open with New Zealand. So because New Zealand has controlled the virus quite well as well. So like, say for example, in Mauritius, from what I can learn from the news, they are controlling quite well. Maybe they can do it with another country which has done the same thing. So it could work, but on a limited basis.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, one of our guests yesterday was saying the same thing, that tourism will start with regional tourism, so people
Yes, exactly.
will travel within the country for the moment,
Yeah.
because I think that this will be a low start of this sector. So, do you recommend that the stakeholders in Mauritius to think differently about the tourism product we're offering? So, actually now, what have been done in Mauritius, what have been offered, and after COVID-19, I sincerely don't know which model they will have to adopt. So, what do you think? What is your opinion about that?
Okay, I mean, tourists come to Mauritius for 3S, practically: the sand, the sun, and the sea. Right? That has been the main reason. Right? And Mauritius, I mean, I know there has been quite a not a lot, but some developments in terms of ecotourism, and also inside to promote the other beauty of the island. But due to the travel restrictions in these countries, so it will be limited, to regional areas. Say, for example, Mauritius with Réunion Island. Okay, they managed to control that so it could work, right? But it's for Mauritius, since it has been a focus on high-end tourism. Probably it's high time also to look at the other type of clients as well to come to Mauritius. So that's what I think, because Mauritius has always focused on the high-end stuff, high-end clients coming from Europe. So it all depends how this will all evolve, but it's not necessary that this strategy will work right now, but to get the industry up and running, it could be a good idea as well to open up to other markets.
Okay. Now I will come to you to a very different topic, which seem to be uncommon in the tourism sector, and of which you are a specialist. This is the reason why I have also invited you on this platform to share with us and to let us understand what is blockchain.
All right. Okay. To understand blockchain, it's in a sort of high level. It is a database, like, say, for example, like a website. Say, for example, you're accessing. There's only one server, so the data is stored in one location. All right. But with blockchain, what happens is the data that you are using, the data that you are writing, is written on thousands or millions of computers. And to be able to write new data, you have to add a block to that data.
Okay.
All right. And then that block is crypted by an algorithm. That's why it makes it very secure. So to be able to compromise the data on there, it is extremely difficult, because, I mean, the advantage of blockchain is, first, is trust, immutability, and transparency. These are the three things we look in blockchain. And when you use that technology, there's a lot of things which you can develop through that. Okay. So in saying that, I mean, tourism, I would say tourism industry has not evolved much, because last time I attended one of the travel shows over here in Australia, and you go to the booths, you get brochures, printed brochures, and all these things. All right. So, and it has pretty much stayed the same. But whereas technology has advanced quite a fair bit in terms of online and all these, So when we talk about blockchain, there are certain things you can do with blockchain technology. Or if you want to put it in another different way, it's called a distributed ledger technology. All right. So where the data is split among a few computers, or thousands or millions of computers, so that the data cannot be compromised. So in a high level, that's what blockchain is.
But tell me, how can blockchain be adopted to the tourism sector? Because what you're saying is more on a financial point of view, on a technological point of view. But someone who is a small and medium enterprise, who has a tourism activity, how can this person adopt to the blockchain system? How this can be embraced?
Okay, when we talk about blockchain, there's something which comes with it. something which is called smart contracts. Okay, so in simple terms, what it means is that it is a contract like a normal contract. Say, for example, I have to pay you a X amount of dollars on the condition that you go to walk my dog every day. All right. I will pay you at the end of the month. All right. We write the, okay. What can happen nowadays? Nowadays, when we do that, okay, I can say, oh, at the end of the month, I don't pay you. That can happen, right? If you look at it in the travel industry, say, for example, right now, what is happening? People have given their money to their travel agent. Travel agents have given the money to the airline. And everything shuts down. The airline goes into voluntary administration.
Okay.
All right. Where is the money? All right. So with a smart contract, what happens is we have a contract, say, okay, when I travel, then I will, okay, I bought a ticket, I've advanced the money, right? But it is locked in that contract without releasing it. Okay, so now we are talking about a digital currency as well, all right, which works with that. So only on the condition that I travel on that particular day, based on, you know, terms of cancellation and all these, then the money is automatically transferred to the airline. All right. So, like, say, for example, I agree to walk your dog every day. We already write a contract. I already put the money there. Only when you complete it, then I press the button, you press the button, you get the money transferred. So in that particular way, for the tourism industry, especially on cross-border transactions, I can see a very big advantage in terms of smart contracts, especially when different parties are involved, different travel agents, tour operators, hotels, and all these are involved. These contracts are become very important. Okay. And also one of the very big advantage of blockchain technology as well is for identification. Because, like, say, for example, you have your identification details on blockchain, nobody can compromise that, right? So, I mean, it could become quite a revolutionary thing. Maybe somebody don't even need to travel with a passport, because like with face recognition technology and all these, so they as soon as you walk through, they scan your face, they already know which country you're from, what is your passport number, and automatically you are issued a visa. This all can be done. We're talking very high level there, but it can be done.
So you mean that blockchain is a parallel of banking system? Or what?
No, it's not necessarily banking, because blockchain can be used in other sectors as well. Like, say, for example, in supply chain, like where you need to track exactly where the product come from, when it left the warehouse, and all these data can be recorded on the blockchain, because blockchain is like a database. Okay. All right. So then people can trust that information because it is on the blockchain. Nobody can tamper with it.
Okay.
Like, say, for example, another example I give to you how blockchain can be used is for voting system.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's identity can be recorded on the blockchain, and the vote is on blockchain. And once it's recorded, nobody can change it.
Oh, very interesting. So you mean that the tourism sector may in the future use blockchain as part of their operating system?
Yes, because I mean, like, as you know, I'm a director of Click a Deal.
Yes,
and this is one of our projects as well, to use blockchain technology for that.
So, as you said before, you are the director of Click a Deal. I know that you are also a chartered accountant. That's why I was trying to to get maximum information from you about blockchain, because it looked promising and interesting. And I think that in the future, this technology may develop further to help, whether it is a small company or a big company or multinational company, they can still use blockchain. So
Yes,
according
correct.
to you, even a small and medium enterprise can adopt this system.
Yeah, because it all forms part of a bigger infrastructure. Like, say, for example, Click a Deal, we develop a system on blockchain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our database and all our products that we offer are recorded on the blockchain, say, for example. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically, all our partners who work with us will be adopting that system, and
Okay.
they will benefit from it because the data is there, cannot be compromised. And this can help them in a lot of things in terms of audit, in terms of transparency, everything.
Mm-hmm. Good. So let's talk a bit about Click a Deal. So what is Click a Deal? If you can let us know, give us more information about Click a Deal and what idea behind Click a Deal, and what are the objectives of Click a Deal in the tourism sector?
First of all, I mean, when I was in Mauritius, since I've my experience in the tourism industry, I see there's a gap in this environment. The idea of Click a Deal is to provide a one-stop platform for the B2B, business to business, and also for the business to the client. All right. So one of the products we have come up with, because as you know, tour operators in Mauritius, they have their clients overseas. All right.
Mm-hmm.
They work with different tour operators. And currently, how do they work? Okay. By email.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was telex, then it became fax machine, and
Yeah, yeah.
then it became email. All right, until now. All right, but there's much more to that, because while working in that industry, I've seen a lot of time being spent
Mm-hmm.
unnecessarily, and for duplication of work. Right. So our idea is to provide a platform for tour operators to
Mm-hmm.
use our platform to be able to reach out to the clients much more efficiently, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of, that will give them the prices, the quotes, all the details on the destination, all the specials and everything. So what we have, our advantage at Click a Deal, is our smart search engine system. So very often, if you look at different platforms, you'll search, it's very often you don't get the accurate rate. All right.
Okay.
But whereas we take whatever we have, like all the specials, all the discounts which are available, we take all these into consideration to be able to give the client the best deal. That's why it's called Click a Deal. All right.
Okay.
But what is very important with that, we have we use artificial intelligence for our mobile application, which will be used as a travel assistant practically for the people who use our system.
So we are also talking about artificial intelligence.
Exactly. Yes, correct.
But tell me one thing, Clifford. I think there are other companies like Booking.com or Expedia. Don't you think that they already offer this type of services to the customer?
I've checked, not, they are not, because they are very geared towards accommodation only. All right. So that's one thing.
Okay.
And also I've compared prices and all these. What we've done, it's not really, they are not really offering what we're offering. So I think that's where our competitive edge will be.
So you mean that Click a Deal will be different in terms of product offer. That is, whatever will be there will be different, as there will be a big range of products available to the customer. So is it a B2B or a B2C
As
platform?
I said, it is a B2B and also a B2C platform. We have both.
Okay.
All right. So like say for example, the destination Mauritius, you have, I mean, all the hotels and all these would be the same, right? But in terms of calculating the pricing, that's where it makes a difference. All right. But like say for example, somebody comes to Mauritius, they not only need hotels, they need transportation, they need place to go to eat. They need to be able to trust somebody to bring them to visit some places. So how do you do that for the moment if
So
you haven't gone through to operator?
somewhere you will have different partners involved in the processes of this platform.
Yes,
Which
for sure. Because one of our advantage is to offer the platform to different service providers to be able to offer their product on our platform. Say for example, you offer, I don't know, some sea excursion, say for example. All right. If you don't, you can work with Click a Deal, and we can offer your product on our platform.
Okay. Or I have a small hotel, or I have a guest
Yes,
house,
correct.
or whatever it is. If I want it to be on the platform, I can still contact Click a Deal and use the platform to reach the customer. Now, Click a Deal is I think it's an internet-based or cloud-based platform, which people will be unable to get access very easily wherever they are. It can be in any country of the world.
Yes, correct. Correct.
And the operating system is based in Australia.
No, that's, I mean, we use Amazon.
Okay.
So Amazon, the server can be anywhere. It can be in US, can be in Singapore, can be in India. And so different, because we have different servers as well.
And what security this platform gives to people as far as booking is concerned, and there's no a risk of losing everything one day as because of technology, or their backup that secure the system of booking.
Oh yeah, of course. There's backups, and also part of it is on blockchain as well. So that the question of losing, no, that's because you have backup servers and all these. I mean, these are all technical details which I'm not going to go into.
And how the
Which
payment is done? Sorry. How the payment is done?
Okay, for B2B, it all depends. Say, for example, you are a tour operator in Mauritius, you use our platform. So you have your own payment system. You use our system for, to reach out to your clients, and you may have certain credit terms which you give to your clients, which you manage. All right. But we can also give you certain facilities for payment systems. So these are the things which we are developing, which is going to come, which will facilitate eventually all the payments and all the, because nowadays, say for example, I want to transfer $100 to you right now. How much bank fees am I going to pay?
700 rupees.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Or even more. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So that's will be one of the advantages that we will have.
And the bank closures also, okay, there's internet banking, but I mean,
Yeah, of course. That's right. Internet banking, but the charges, I pay you $100, I have to pay $60 in bank fees.
Okay. And you think that the tourism sector need to reinvent itself as far as the future is concerned? Because the lockdown and the virus has really stopped everything, and planes are grounded, cruises are not there, restaurant closed. You can't see any tourists. You know Mauritius very well. Since 2 months, we have not seen anybody on the beach or in the villages or in the city. So what will be the new model of traveling according to you? Will it be something with technology, because you're someone who is very well versed in technology, and will it be someone more personal, human touch, or technology will overcome all these difficulties?
I think the sector has to brace more for technology, first of all. But obviously, we can't use technology to travel. That's one thing. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
But in terms of all the sales, marketing, administration, and everything, I mean, this is all has to be driven by technology. That's the way
Okay.
I'm seeing things.
Good, good. Excellent, Clifford. It has been really a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot for sharing
Thank you.
your ideas, your knowledge. And sincerely, blockchain was very new, was very uncommon to most of our friends. I have spoken to some of my friends that you were going to talk about it, and we really appreciated you. You have enlightened few technologies to us, which we may use. I hope that our followers or our friends who are listening to us all around the world may think in the future to embrace the blockchain system or new way of doing, and include it in their strategic plan for the future. So I wish you a very nice evening. I know that it's nearly night in Australia. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing, and happy Labor Day, and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you very much. So if you have
Thank you.
anything to say, and I know you have your friends who are listening, etc. In any way, this video, this conversation is recorded and can be seen on Facebook at any time. And I think there have been few disturbance, I think, connection before with Facebook. You know, technology sometimes it happen. It's not
Mhm.
100% perfect, but I'm sure they can go back and see the interview and get some ideas out of it. If you have
Okay.
anything to say to the floor before leaving, and mainly to the Mauritian, what would you suggest?
Thank you, Prem, for having me. What I would say is to keep safe in this special time, which is very difficult for everybody. But use this time very wisely to retrain yourself, to give you more skills, to give you more knowledge, and we will be better and stronger when all this is finished. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clifford, and goodbye. Take
All
care.
right.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Stay home.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Voilà, c'était Clifford de l'Australie. J'espère que vous avez aimé le sujet qu'on a développé aujourd'hui et que vous allez peut-être l'utiliser dans le futur pour remodeler votre business, votre façon de faire pour le secteur touristique. Encore une fois, bonne fête du travail, passez un bon week-end, et demain, on va accueillir quelqu'un, un Mauricien cette fois-ci, qui est président de l'association des tours opérateurs à Maurice, qui est aussi involved dans le income and outbound tourism. À demain et merci beaucoup. Au revoir.